Thank you, Mr. President. The consequences of the conflict that we are witnessing right now are clear, and everyone is impacted. This is a conflict that should never have happened. The conflict and its disastrous fallouts are no more isolated. The regional and global dimensions are obvious. And when international law is violated, peace is imperiled and not advanced. We call for immediate and complete cessation of hostilities and return to the dialogue table. Only a peaceful settlement will serve everyone's interest. It is unfortunate that despite the grave threat faced by the region, the Council could not unify behind a comprehensive response to end the conflict. That's the sad reality. Yet, it was important to act, for there were genuine concerns that needed to be addressed. Under the circumstances, we had two proposed draft resolutions before us. I thank the representatives of Bahrain and the Russian Federation for presenting the respective draft resolutions. And Pakistan supports both the draft resolutions. Our positive vote on the draft resolution introduced by Bahrain signifies the affirmation of Pakistan's strong solidarity with the brotherly countries of Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Jordan. It also serves to underscore our condemnation of all the unwarranted attacks faced by them, especially those targeting civilians, civilian objects, and critical civilian infrastructure. I reiterate Pakistan's complete support for the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and political independence of all these countries. As demanded by the resolution just adopted, we hope that the attacks on their territory will cease immediately and the navigational rights and freedoms in the Strait of Hormuz will not be undermined. It is most unfortunate that the fraternal states of Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Jordan came under attacks despite all along supporting dialogue, facilitating diplomatic engagement, and advocating avoidance of escalation during the period of heightened tensions and military activity in the run-up to the start of this conflict. These countries should not have had to face the worst consequences of war. Pakistan stands in complete solidarity with their governments and people. President, Pakistan also views favorably the draft resolution tabled by the Russian Federation that is also contextualized in the framework of the UN Charter and has its primary focus on urging the parties to stop military activities, refrain from further escalation, and return to negotiations, something that is consistent with Pakistan's overall position. The deplorable turn of events unfolding in the region, from the initiation of unwarranted attacks on the Islamic Republic of Iran on February 28th, which Pakistan also condemned, have seriously jeopardized international peace and security, given rise to grave consequences, and unnecessarily embroiled the entire region. As a brotherly neighboring country, Pakistan supports the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Iran. We are deeply concerned by the instability in Iran. These disturbing developments also carry profound socio-economic and humanitarian repercussions. As a neighboring country, Pakistan has not remained immune from these impacts. At least 2 Pakistani nationals lost their lives in attacks on the UAE. Millions of other Pakistanis that reside in the Gulf countries remain in harm's way. Our fuel supplies have been seriously hampered, obliging the government to take extraordinary measures for conserving the use of oil, gas, and electricity. Several essential aviation links have been severed while others face disruptions. President, Pakistan seeks an immediate end to this conflict that has caused immense humanitarian suffering, in all countries affected by the missile and drone strikes on schools, residential areas, oil and port facilities, water desalination plants, and civic infrastructure. We offer our deepest condolences on the tragic loss of life of civilians caught in the middle of the conflict and extend our sympathies to the affected families and communities. It was particularly heart-wrenching to see innocent school children perish at an elementary school in Menab. Any use of force outside the bounds of the UN Charter is unlawful and condemnable. It is also incumbent upon all parties to strictly comply with international humanitarian law in the conduct of hostilities. We call for a swift return to dialogue and diplomacy to pursue a peaceful resolution of all contentious issues in accordance with the rights, obligations, and responsibilities of the parties concerned. Sincere commitment and genuine political will are required to restore trust and build the foundations of peaceful coexistence through mutual accommodation and respect. One country of the region must not be allowed to dictate the terms in its neighborhood of what it considers acceptable and what constitutes a threat, seeking absolute security for itself while occupying Palestinian and Arab territories and destabilizing, coercing, and threatening the rest, ultimately dragging everyone into conflict and confrontation. Mr. President, we welcome and deeply appreciate the sincere efforts being made by various countries to mediate between the warring parties. The leadership of Pakistan has also remained in close contact with our neighbors, friends, and partners throughout the region and beyond, and continues to play a constructive role in that regard. I conclude by reiterating Pakistan's call for all sides to immediately de-escalate, exercise maximum restraint, desist from undertaking further attacks, and urgently resume diplomacy for a negotiated, lasting resolution to this crisis. I thank you.